Hello, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see, I'm back. Yesterday, I was into a live and I had some technical difficulties. And, stuff happens, so I didn't come back. MG, hello, mate. How are you? I was doing a box yesterday and my internet went so I finished it. It's nothing fantastic, but that's what I created yesterday. I'll end up taking that off. But I thought I would just kind of pop in again. Hey, Tommy. So, more found on the ground. I don't know what this is. Has some nice walnut in it, but I figured it's a nice chunk. I'll make a nice bowl out of it. And should have seen this thing before I started. It had tons of bark on it, and it was just full of ants. And had to get all of that taken off. And, that's what you get when you get some found on the ground. So I'm going to poke my head into the chat every once in a while. MG, I hear that you are over in Scandinavia somewhere. Is that correct? All right. Well, I'm going to be poking my head every once in a while and looking at the chat. You guys, hopefully you're entertained. But here we go. Netherlands. Okay. Well, welcome to the United States. I'm in Utah. You don't know where that's at? Google it. We'll turn the speed up on this a little bit. Now it's a little truer. I'm going to tighten this up just a little bit more. I've got a woodworm screw on the other end. I'm not sure it's really doing the job.
This is really wet. I can feel it. I think I'm going to have to go a little slower on this, just because it is so wet. Seriously, I don't know if it's just because it's cold or if it's wet and cold, but it's like I'm taking a shower. It's pretty crazy. Let's take a look at it.
I was freezing yesterday, turned into wet ash. Yeah, for some reason it's gone from really warm to really cold. And I mean, it is spring, I understand that, but give us a break, huh? All right. So I actually like that. Let's take it off and flip it around. I don't often use the woodworm screws just because I guess I don't really trust them. But, that's one reason why I kind of did that. That's going to actually be the real rim, but I'm going to take all of that out and hopefully it doesn't crack in there too much, but it's going to be a bowl, so a lot of it's going to go away. So just curious to see how deep those go. Well, hello, Robin. Welcome to the channel. Those that crack goes pretty deep right there. Well, let's see what we can get rid of and what we can't. But you know what? I don't mind having cracks in our projects so long as they don't go flying off at me. That's the scary part. So do the Forstner bit, just do a little cheating. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Hey, David.
Well, hi, Stace. If I just say Stacy. Tell you what, that is the best thing I like about carbide is it makes short work of doing what you need to do. I could use my bowl gouge. I think it would take a lot longer. One of these days I'll get a lathe that doesn't bog down. It's kind of a shame taking out all of that heartwood just because it's so pretty, but let's adjust the camera angle on it so you can see what I'm doing a little better. That's better. So we'll give that just a nice little rounded lip. Let's see if we can follow the curve and just eat away down at the bottom, little by little. Oops, almost got a catch on that one. I like that. I can feel it in there. Gotta do it nice and slow. Get rid of that. It still wants to catch.
Yeah, I know. It was more than almost. Oh, that's what's catching. We've got just a little punky area in there. It's kind of where the sapwood is coming through. So I should probably stop right around in there. And that's actually not a real bad depth anyway. So we could do a little cleanup on that. light cuts. Yeah. So that's actually getting really thin on this. So I'm going to come back through and actually turn this down just a little bit. And let's do a little bit more shaping on this, just to do the finer details. It also helps for the sanding. Just some nice smooth lines. Okay. Let's take a look at the outside, see what it looks like. Yeah, we definitely have some cracks going on there, which I really don't want to turn that lip off to take them away. So we'll just leave them and finish up this outside. Thought about maybe burning it, but nah, I like it the way it is. I believe this is 120 grit sandpaper.
And I'm going to step it up to 1,000 grit. No, I'm actually not wearing a headset. It's a computer camera, and I guess it has noise canceling in it, so it really picks up my voice rather than the uh, the sound of the lathe. So that's nice. That feels really good. Okay. So, little homemade sanding sealer. I just drip it on the side and then onto the cloth. Actually, I'm going to pull this back a little bit so you can see more what I'm doing. But it's just I just squirt it right on the piece. Put some in there. Let it spin off and dry a little bit. Has a nice little shine on it already, just from that. And I'm going to knock it back one more time with some 1,000, just to make sure there isn't any grain that's been lifted. I hate it when it does that. Okay, third time's a charm. I'm done with that then. So now I've got some homemade OB Shine Juice. Do the same thing. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. And just drip it right on the whole thing. Squirt some in there. Now I like to let it sit for a minute, let it spin, just to kind of dry out. And you can see it doesn't take a lot, but I'll probably end up doing a couple coats. And the rag is still wet, so I'm just coming back through again. heat it up just a teeny bit. Now, being that it's still wet, I'm going to come back through and then add a little bit of pressure on here so it almost burnishes that outside. If you guys don't know what OB Shine Juice is, it is boiled linseed oil, some mineral oil, and shellac. And that actually, with one coat, has already put just a nice shine on it. Turn that off. Take a gander at it. And that is just smooth as smooth can be. Inside could probably use a little bit, but you know, if we're going to use it for like a planter or something like that, probably doesn't really need it. So with that, let's part it off and we'll be done with the bowl. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Now, sorry about this, but I have to turn on this light because otherwise I can't see how deep I'm going to part this thing off. Now, when I part this off, I always go in at just a little bit of an angle. There she goes. And then, not quite done yet. There's some firewood. Sometimes I hold on to those pieces because if they're interesting, then I'll make like necklaces out of them, and that one wasn't so interesting, so I didn't. So I had to get some new shelf paper because the stuff that I had before was falling apart. And this is it's like a rubberized, tacky stuff that you put in drawers. Make sure that gets in the center as much as possible. Try centering that up maybe a little bit better.
It's just a hair off. Kind of like me, just a hair off. That's a little better. Actually, let's see. We're just going to run tool on here, just to kind of true up this bottom. You can even make it a little interesting if you want by taking out the center section and maybe just leaving a little lip. But I wanted to make that nice and flat. That's good. I'm going to run some sandpaper on it. Let's get that banjo out of the way. It's nothing like getting your fingers caught in between there. That would be fun, would it? The bottom I'm not too worried about just because nobody's really going to see it. But, you know, it's nice to finish your project. I'm just going to take a gouge and finish that up just a little bit. And then I'm going to take some more Obi Shine juice. Stacy's trying to make a fish quickly. Let that spin a little bit just to dry out. And we'll put some pressure on it and put a strain on it. Very nice, very nice. And let's see here. We'll switch so you see me. Howdy, howdy, howdy. So, one nice little pot. Took us 42 minutes, all in all. But you can see how that OB Shine Juice just does the trick. Nice and easy. Thanks, Joy. Well, hey, thanks for popping in and hanging out with me. Hopefully I filled up 45 minutes of your time and you guys got inspired to do something. Heaven knows I wouldn't want to inspire anyone. That's just crazy talk. Anyway, guys, I really, 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 I appreciate you being here. Kind of one of the reasons why I do this is just to hang out and show people what I can do. So I'm going to knock it on the head. And, you know, like I always say, take care, do a good turn daily, be good to each other. Bye.